Hello all, we are back again. We are at the Sandringham camping and caravanning site on the Sandringham Estate, not far from Hunstanton and King's Lynn and kind of in the middle. So we've driven down yesterday, set up camp, and today the sun is shining, the heat is back, and we are not too sure where we're going to go, but probably going to aim towards the beach and see what happens. So we will catch up with you in a little bit. Bye. So, well, actually, on the Sandringham camping and caravanning site, there is there's forest all around. So, there's a couple of areas where other kids have made some dens, and you can just have a little walk through. There's not many fences or anything, so just go have a little walk. Tobin loved exploring, finding the pine cones, and finding other little plants and things. So, yeah, we will see where this leads us. I've got to go through all the vines here. Oh, it's parts of the trees, aren't they? So we're heading to the Sea Life Centre in Hunstanton today. It's hot. It's going to be a very hot day. Yesterday we kind of just did the little beach in Heacham, and then that was about it, I think. So if there was anything, I'll put it below, but that was pretty much the day. Today is going to be a very hot day, so we're going to stick indoors and maybe do the beach afterwards for a little walk. We'll see. Catch you in a bit. Bye. So today we decided to head over to the Hunstanton Sea Life Centre as the weather outside was scorching and we wanted to stay out of the sun and in somewhere a little cooler. So this was close by, and wow, it was a adventure and a half. So I won't go into too much detail, but there's lots of animals to see. There's various types of fish, shark, turtles. They have penguins, seals, as well as some otters as well. And we were just not expecting half of the stuff that we did get to see within the Sea Life Centre. So have a look, have a watch, enjoy the rest of the video clips that we've put together to show you what's at the Sea Life Centre. And I do say go see it for yourself, because it is definitely a place to go, and you spend a good few hours there, especially if you stand around or hang around for the talks that they put on throughout the day for the seals, penguins, otters, some of the crocodiles, as well as the weird and wonderful animals. So they did have other animals that we weren't expecting, things like axolotls and some starfish, which you actually got to touch and feel. So yeah, we will catch up with you on the next part of the adventure. See you in a bit. we are going to go to Felbrigg Court and Gardens, or Felbrigg Hall and Gardens. I'll put the name below. And then we're going to do the beach afterwards. So we're going to try and find some fossils. So fitting shirt for fossils. But otherwise, we will catch up with you either later today or tomorrow. So enjoy. Welcome to Felbrigg Hall. This is one of the National Trust's finest 17th century country houses. It's celebrated for its combination of Jacobean architecture. On the building itself, which is a 1624 Jacobean facade, the stone lettering reads, "Glory to the God in the highest," in Latin. Once we walk through the house, we are presented with many different rooms. They have a grand tour cabinet, which is a cabinet room with a complete 18th century grand tour room designed to display souvenirs from the owner, William Wyndham II's travels. There's also other rooms like the library, which has 5,000 odd books, including a copy of Dr. Johnson's famous dictionary, a Chinese room, various bedrooms, and not just the house alone, but you also have the gardens and estate. So the gardens include a 520 acres of parkland and a notable walled garden which has been restored, and it's got an 18th century orangery and a working dovecote. Walking through the house itself is just amazing. You wonder how people used to afford these lavish lifestyles and live like this. Once we'd finished the house, and we were amazed by that, you walk through the gardens, and the gardens are just as wonderful. They're well maintained, well kept, and the current gardening team who are there are just amazing, so kudos to them. But overall, it was a great few hours spending around the house and the gardens. Weather was good, which helped it a lot. And we will then move on to our next adventure, and we'll see you there. Bye. So, over to Cromer Beach now. The weather was just right. It wasn't too windy, it wasn't too cold. The tide was almost all the way out, so we got to walk quite far into the sand with very minimal effort. The water and the waves were just about right. Tobin loved running back and forth and finding some mussels. Some of them were closed still, some of them were open, but the water was warm. and everything was really, it was perfect, really. So we'll catch you up on the next one. Good morning all. We have decided today we're going to go see Rising Castle. So that's in Castle Rising, and it's a castle, so Castle Rising Castle. And we haven't decided on that afterwards, but we're probably going to hit the beach afterwards. And we don't know which beach, probably something like Hunstanton or somewhere along those lines. But it's going to be an interesting day. So we will catch up with you later on or tomorrow morning when we will decide what we're going to do. So see you in a bit. So on today's adventure we're heading over to Rising Castle. This castle is a premier 12th century fortress renowned for its massive, well-preserved stone keep and extensive 20-acre earthworks. It was built between 1138 and 1140 by William de Albini II. Overall, the castle was a great find. You could spend a few hours there just walking around the ruins of the castle and the massive rooms that it had. You can get to 2 or 3 other different floors and walk around and have a look through those. There's also plenty of land around the castle where you could easily have a little picnic and just admire the actual size of the building. So, over to Hunstanton Beach, and we just wanted to visit the beach, so we're going to see if we could find some fossils. If not, we'll just see if we could find some other kind of wildlife, so mussels, shells, fish, little birds, whatever we could see. So this was just a little walk, walked right down into Hunstanton and then walked all the way back again. So, good morning, you lovely people. I'm sitting in the car today because the fighter jets are going crazy overhead. They're just literally flying super low and super fast. And it's been like that for the last hour. It's been crazy. But anyway, we are going to Pensthorpe Nature Reserve today to see animals, I'm guessing. I don't quite know. We booked it early this morning and we were just told I'm driving there, so that's where we're going. So yeah, we'll catch up with you either later today. I don't know if you can hear that. It's yeah, catch up with you later today and we will try and see what else we can do. Might go to the beach, might go to the pub, we don't know. It's going to be a long day probably. But let's hope we can get some more shots of the fighter jets flying really low before we go. So, catch up with you in a bit. Bye. So, on today's adventure, we're heading over to the Pensthorpe Natural Park. This park is an award-winning nature reserve with 700 acres of land, offering a mix of wildlife conservation with 5 distinct gardens and an extensive indoor and outdoor play area. Fun fact, it's formerly the home of BBC's Springwatch that focuses on protecting endangered species and providing scenic nature trails, bird hides and some educational areas. The park is a haven for red squirrels, cranes, and various other wild waterfowl and wildlife. We didn't get to see any of the red squirrels running around. The weather was just not too great for them. It was very windy. The park also does have an extensive outdoor play area called Wild Roots. Tobin loved climbing on this, just running back and forward, and it was absolutely great. He just wanted to spend most of his time there. There is an indoor play area with a soft play, which is a little bit more for the smaller kids, and if the weather is worse off. But overall, the park was a great walk around. We spent pretty much the whole day there from the time it opened right through to the time it closed. During that time we had lots of the fighter jets and military aircraft flying overhead, which was an interesting part of the day as well. So we'll leave you off there and catch up with you next time. So, on our last day for this trip, we ended up going to the Sandringham Estate. We were already on the Sandringham Estate, staying at the camping and caravanning site just down the road. So, once we got there, we walked around the gardens, which were lovely, green, luscious, and very well kept. And then we headed off into the actual house itself. Now, we couldn't film anything in the house because it is the home of the current king and subsequent family members, so filming is not permitted in the house. But overall, we took a walk through the house. Once you're in the house, you can stay in there as long as you want, but once you've left, you can't go back in again. So take your time walking around, looking at all the architecture and ask as many questions with the artworks and the various pieces in the house. But once you're at the house again, you're back into the gardens and you can continue walking around through the gardens. Up towards the top area of the garden, there is a massive, and I mean huge, outdoor play area for the kids. That is free for any of the kids to just go in and play, and Tobin loved it. He just didn't want to leave. He was in there for a good couple of hours just running around playing with the other kids. So, and we'll just leave you there and catch up with you on our next adventure. Bye.